Alex Kidman here, and today I'm taking a look at, well, it sort of looks like I've butchered a vacuum cleaner, and trust me, I haven't. This is the Kobold VK7, and it's a modular cordless vacuum cleaner from the people who do Thermomix. So, as you can imagine, this is quite premium priced, and just to say it outright, no, I can't make soups or stews with this thing, or at least I haven't tried. But the whole idea here is that they sell it in a bunch of different kits. So there's a basic vacuum kit, there's a vacuum and mop kit, and there's kind of a one with the lot, which has lots of other additional functional bits for things like cleaning beds and so on. They've sent me the one with the mop, which is the middle level kit. And I suppose the first thing I should do is actually build this into its proper form. So let's get into that. So this particular version of the kit comes with this bigger head here. That's the mop head. It's actually already got the mop pad on it. And then the vacuum head. Couple of smaller tools, the main vacuum body, which we'll get into in a second, and the charging plug, and that's what you get for your money. And before I go any further, I really should talk about money, because this is not your average mass market vacuum cleaner. This is very much something that sits in that premium space. So the baseline vacuum, just the vacuum cleaner itself, is $1,699 Australian. If you want the 2-in-1 mop version, which is what I'm testing here, that's $2,399. And then there's a kind of all-you-can-eat mop and vacuum and pretty much every attachment they do bundle, and that will set you back $2,999. This is a serious money kind of tool. They tend to speak about it as being a bit of an investment in cleaning, which I guess it would have to be at those prices, but I 100% recognise that for a lot of people, that sticker shock price, that's going to be the point at which they nope out of this whole discussion. At the same time, there is a premium market for white goods, and this is what this sits in. It's fair enough to assess it on those terms, but yeah, you can't get past that price. It's very much there and part of what you need to consider in terms of assessing the value equation of this particular vacuum cleaner. The physical setup of the VK7 is actually pretty easy. I mean, it all just snaps together, as you can see, and comes apart as well. There's a very easy release button when you need to do that, so this is just me putting the vacuum head on. And then with another quick switch for the button, you can pull the stick up to make it a full stick-size vacuum cleaner. Although you don't have to, you can use it with your hands as a standalone thing as well. For basic vacuuming, the VK7 actually works quite well. It has an automatic setting which will detect carpet and rev itself up. That's not a new feature, certainly for a lot of vacuums at this kind of price range, with a toggle setting for different power intensity levels. That high level intensity is quite strong. I mean, you can actually see it here, almost creating that kind of classic lawnmower effect in one of my thicker carpets. The vacuum head itself is actually suitable for both hardwood floors and carpets at the same time, although not liquids. That's what you need the mopping head for, of course. There's also a boost button on the back, so if you just need a little bit of extra power, it can get the job done there. It also does a pretty decent job on hardwood floors, or as you can see here, some of my stairs. That flexible head actually rotates around quite nicely as well, with a decent level of pickup. It's not going to necessarily grab everything, even at maximum intensity, but again, you get that with a lot of vacuum cleaners. Just a couple of small caveats here that I noticed during my testing. It's pickup of hair, and I have cats and people with long hair, obviously not me, in the house, and obviously just lots of it, dust and the everyday detritus of life to deal with. But because of the somewhat compact size of the body of this, the vacuum bag is not huge. I did manage to fill it up fairly quickly. Maybe my house was a lot dustier than I thought, but you might have to factor that into the value of this particular vacuum cleaner, because you're likely to go through more vacuum bags than on a larger, more traditional vacuum bag style device. The other thing with this is that it is a little bit top heavy. That's just the nature of that design. Now, that didn't hurt me too badly, and it's nicely rotatable, so it'll go under desks and under beds and under low furniture, I guess is the way to put it, quite easily. But the catch there is that if you do have someone who's got weaker grip, I had a family member test it out and they commented they liked it, but they found it a little bit difficult to move around because of the way that it was weighted. It's something worth keeping in mind. And then we've got the mop head, and again, very easy to attach. You just clip out the existing vacuum head, clip on the mop head, and you're away. But this is a different experience. It's a high-intensity vibrating plate, in essence, a bit like those ones you see in shopping centres. And it works quite well, but you do need even more grip. It does vibrate you around a lot more. And where the vacuum head is reasonably quiet, actually, it's quite nice in that regard if you don't like noisy vacuums. I can't say the same for the mop head. It's quite a bit more noisy. The other challenge here is around exactly how you clean with it. So you can just use fresh water. It has a little freshwater reservoir, and it's mostly using fresh water, in fact, along with microfiber pads. You can see it on the base there. But it also has its own range of cleaning fluids, and the idea is you add a little bit of these. They're a surfactant, obviously, but they are custom bottles. They run $19 a throw for various different floor types. There is a universal one, and you get a little 50ml bottle of that in with the kit. I think that's a little bit cheap, actually, I've got to be honest, for such an expensive device. But you have to factor that in again to the value equation, because that is technically going to be an ongoing cost if you wanted to do that. I will say I have not tested this because this was a loan unit, and frankly, because of the value of the unit, I haven't tested it with other detergents or other mopping solutions, but I'm going to imagine that they're not going to view it nicely if they do something bad to the device and you need to make a warranty claim. So be careful out there. On that same set of stairs, as you will see here, the vibrating mop head is also a fair bit trickier to manage. It does a reasonable cleaning job, again. It's quite a powerful device, but the vibration and the size of the head does make it tricky for those smaller areas that you might want to mop. You may need even to revert to a traditional mop for those at some point. There's also a small variety of snap-on tools for crevice cleaning and car cleaning and things like that, and all of that operates fairly well. You may have to, as I've had to do here, work out where that body is going to sit, for example, if you're doing the inside of a car, because it can be difficult working out placement positions for it. But again, look, the pickup is reasonable enough. My car really badly needed a clean, in fact. And it works well, and I feel like I'm saying it works well because it did, and it works nicely. That flexibility is clearly a big part of what you're investing in here. The Kobold VK7 is rated for up to 60 minutes of battery life, and up to figures are always rubbery. Certainly if you're running it at maximum intensity, you will not get anywhere near that. I've managed to run this thing flat in under 20 minutes that way. Again, it does depend on usage. It's a modular battery thing. It clips in at the front, and you can buy spare batteries. Again, more cost if you are so inclined. Even an external battery charger is possible if you really wanted to get into it. The standard kit just comes with this plug, and at one level, it's quite a simple affair, really. You simply plug the plug in, and then you take it to the back of the vacuum cleaner and you clip that in. That's all quite good. That all works quite well. It takes about 2 hours to recharge. What I'm much less fond of in this context is the plug, because that is one big sucker of a plug. If you've got it in a double adapter, like I do here, you can kiss the second plug goodbye. I wish it was slightly differently designed, slightly angled, or was just smaller in some way, so it was more friendly towards those of us where you've got to put it in a wall socket and there might be something plugged in there, for example. That bit just doesn't work very well. The rest of it is nicely designed. I don't think the plug is. So, is it worth it? Look, for a lot of people, the asking price of the Kobold VK7 will be a deal breaker long before there's ever any question of which model is worth buying or represents any level of value, for certain. But, yeah, as I said at the start, there is a market out there for premium white goods, and within that market, if you are after a relatively robust, nicely designed and nicely built vacuum cleaner that should, in theory, last you a good quantity of years, if you can put up with that slightly smaller vacuum bag and the way it's weighted, then, yeah, I think this is a reasonably good product as long as you can get past that price point. Anyway, that's my take on the Kobold VK7. What do you think? What do you want to know? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Also, I'd like bonus points because I got through this entire review without making a joke about something sucking.